guys, back at the HD camcorder. I fixed it. Took a pretty long time. I'm trying to do this video in one shot. This is going to be a two-month review of the Scion TC 2016. And I'm going to get the two things I absolutely hate about this car off right away. I love this car. This is not enough for me not to buy the car, but it may be for someone else, so I'm going to point it out. Don't call me spoiled. I paid for this car all by myself. And yeah, that's none of your concern, even if other kids do get this car and don't pay for it themselves. But first thing I noticed, I'm going to have to turn the focus on. I don't know if you guys can see this, all these white dings and shit, those are chips. This car is brand new. I've never seen a car chip as easily as this. And I read reviews online, and I heard that the paint on this car chips real easy. So that's a downfall. I also hit 3 curbs last week in one day, and all the rims have dings on them now. It's like you guys know, I deliver newspapers overnight, so sometimes I have to be looking somewhere else while I'm driving, which leads to fucked up wheels. I just got finished washing it and shit. Haven't washed it since July 4th. And the other thing, I don't know if you guys can see this now. I fixed the camcorder to try and film it, but you guys can't see it right now. This taillight, every time it rains out or I wash the car, I tried not to spray in this area because I didn't want to get it fogged up with this full. This rear taillight lens fogs up real bad because water's leaking inside of it. Yeah, so water leaks inside this and fogs up the taillight. If you guys watch TJ Hunt, you'll know his FRS, BRZ, whatever. Taillights fogged up on him. He had to get new ones, and that is a Toyota manufacturing flaw because they designed the BRZ and the FRS, and powertrain is all Subaru, so that's on Toyota. So I'm gonna have to bring it back to the dealer when I get my plates. You guys can't tell, these have been expired for over a month. Haven't had time to really go there yet, but I just got a new job, second job, so I'm gonna be making a lot of money. So on my list of things, first thing I'm doing to this is tint, spoiler, and then subs. I'm gonna have videos on that as well. So look out for that. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. If you want to follow the build with me. So those are the two things I absolutely hate about the car right now. Not absolutely hate. It's not enough to make me not want to drive it. But another thing I noticed, I pointed this out in one of my other videos, dirty in here. I didn't get to the inside yet. I have 6,000 miles on this car already. About 5,000 of them is all city. After about a few weeks of driving it with like 2,000 miles on it, I noticed everything that felt solid, which made me want to buy the car, is now loose and feels cheap. The blinker was solid when I bought it. Now feels cheap. Same with the wiper and the gearbox. The gearbox is one of the main reasons I said I'm going to buy this car. And now the gearbox is all loose, shit like that. And another thing is, when you go to shift, you can't shift quick in this car. You have to, if you're in a high RPM, not even a high RPM, anything above 2,000 RPMs, you have to have the clutch all the way in. You have to shift it in gear, and then after like a second of being in gear, you let the clutch out. Otherwise, it'll grind. I was trying to catch myself not having a clutch all the way in. I thought that was the problem, but it's not. The clutch is all the way in. You have to give it a second. I think the clutch pedal needs to be adjusted or something because like I said, doesn't want to shift, it'll grind. And later down the road, that'll cause the synchros to fail. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce that, but yeah. So I'm gonna have to start concentrating on my shifts a little bit better. Cause I don't want the transmission to fail on me. And I do all city driving. The main reason I got this car was because it was the only manual on the lot. Plus, I really like them, and I need a manual for my job. But just got a second job and save money, so Whenever I don't have to make payments on this car, I could go buy another car like that if anything happens to it later down the road. I'm not going to clean the inside of this until tonight, but yeah, I have 6,000 miles on it. Normal wear and tear is already added up. Like, everything just feels cheap now. The moonroof since day one, if you have it all the way open, it'll rattle and you hear it rattling and shit. That didn't get any worse or any better, it just stayed rattling since day one. I like the full glass roof too. Actually, one of the things I really like about the car is the legroom. I can't even have the seat all the way back. I never had a car where I could put the seat all the way back and not be able to reach the pedals, because it is based off I forget what it is. It's either, I think it's a Corolla frame, but there's less room in the back, so you have more room in the front. And the seats are in the back are always down for my job. Yeah, there's a lot of room in this car. If you guys can't tell, look at the door. Look how wide it is. I'd say it's like 5 feet, almost 4 feet when you open it. I mean, just look at that entry. And I'm getting about 21 miles per gallon. And right now I'm getting 21, half city, half highway right now. So that's actually a downfall to owning this car. It said that I'd be getting like 27 average. I'm getting average 21, like I did 21.8 or whatever. So that was false. I changed the oil. I've been 2,000 miles in this car. I've done 2 oil changes. I did the first one at 2,500 and the second one at another 2,500. I have about 1,000 miles on this new oil. I used full synthetic oil. I used a Mobile One Extended Performance, the last oil change in this car. And yeah, I noticed that my gas mileage dropped when I put that Extended Performance oil into it. Another thing is, I think I might have an oil pressure issue already. When I'm driving a car and I'm working, I have to get out the car, throw newspaper to someone's porch. This side of the engine, it clicks. It makes a loud knocking sound, and it'll go away and then come back. I thought it was the AC, because it was happening when the AC was on only. Now that I don't use the AC anymore to see if it still happens, it still happens. And I notice it's not until the car's been running for over an hour. That's when it'll start. Then you hear this whining sound. I think it sounds like the oil pump is whining or something like that. But yeah, when I go get my plates tomorrow, I'm gonna go tell them about the rear light and that the oil pressure issue. And since you don't have an oil pressure gauge or a coolant temp gauge in this car, why, I have no idea. That's another downfall I absolutely hate, because a lot of people aren't going to notice when the car overheats, because the light comes on the dash, but most people won't even notice. And another thing about the car is it's the most expensive car to insure, under $50,000 for anyone who's 25 to 17. That's what I read on a couple sites, and that's what it's at right now anyway. But those are just some of the things I noticed that I don't like. And of course, most of you guys, it's a pretty basic car, so you guys know everything else about the car, and I like everything else, but I have to point out these negative things about the car, so people who are trying to buy one and they want to notice downfalls of the car before they buy it, that's exactly what this video is for. So don't tell me I'm whining. The whole purpose of this video is to whine about certain things. So, and I honestly recommend you test driving a used one. If you want to buy a new one, even go to a dealer with a used one that's like a year old, test drive it, see how it feels, see how cheap it feels, how worn out it feels, and then go to the dealer and drive a new one, and you'll be able to tell the difference, exactly what I'm talking about. But if you put up with those things like me, then go ahead and get one. You got to remember, it's a $20,000 car that has a good amount of features inside of it. The biggest thing I can't stand about the car, out of everything I just told you, is the paint chips. The car's 2 months old, already has a ton of paint chips on it, because Toyota's been known to use cheap paint. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember to comment, rate, subscribe, follow me on Instagram at LiamSlutzisBuild.